Hello everyone, I'm Chyill and welcome back to another one of my Rainbow Six videos. Today, let's take a look at Echo, the newly added Japanese SAT defense operator on Rainbow Six Siege. In this episode of my detailed Rainbow Six Siege guides, Echo, the new Japanese defense operator, will be our main topic for today. I've had quite a lot of success with Echo in most of my games with him, which you will be able to see in the background gameplay later in the video. And so I've been super excited to get this guide out to you guys and hopefully be able to help you out with playing Echo effectively. Like Rook and Doc, Echo has 1 speed but 3 armor, making him very durable, and it's actually part of the reason for my success with him. Enemies that can't headshot you will struggle to take you down with body shots. Couple that with a disorientating effect from your Yokai drone, and it becomes very difficult for the opponent to play the objective if you're positioned correctly near the objective room. And so I think that he is actually a very decent defender, maybe not at Rook's level yet, but still definitely a nice operator to have in a coordinated team, because of the flexibility of his gadget and the power of his gun. In this operator guide, just like the Hibana guide previously, I will start off with introducing and discussing about Echo's unique gadget, the Yokai drone. I will then cover his weapons and secondary gadget choices, before finally covering his playstyle and give you some of my tips on playing him effectively. And so, without further ado, let's begin. First off, let's talk about his unique gadget, the Yokai drone. His Yokai drone's primary purpose is similar to that of the attacker's drone, as well as the CCTV cameras available to defenders, and that is to provide intelligence to you and your teammates. Using the shockwave to disorientate enemies would be the drone's secondary function. I've had a few games where I had the drone positioned in very strategic locations, allowing me to make informed decisions on when and where to engage on my enemies, engage them while they're disorientated, giving me a free and easy kill. To quickly go through the basic mechanics with the drone, it starts off in ground mode. Basically, it will just be hovering on the ground, and at this point it is fully visible to everyone. You can move it around the map just like any other drone, and pressing spacebar will make it jump very high and attach itself to the ceiling or structure above it. However, the jump height is limited, and so it cannot reach those ceilings that are really high up. Also, when it jumps, it can only go up vertically, and so because it has no horizontal acceleration at all when jumping, it cannot jump over deployable shields, and it may get stuck in a room. And if that happens, you need to pick it up and throw it over the shield yourself to get it out of the room. While it is attached to the ceiling, it can no longer move, and it will be stealth after a short time. You don't have to wait till it is stealth to fire a shockwave, so anytime once it is attached, you are free to fire a shockwave to disorientate the enemy. Doing so while stealth will make it no longer stealth, and so if you want to keep the drone alive, because the intel it gives you is more important, just be careful when using it for its shockwave ability. It will start off with 3 charges maximum of its shockwave, and they will slowly replenish over time if you use them, so you are incentivized to keep it alive. When you are attempting to shockwave an enemy, you have to be quite precise with the Yokai drone, because the area of effect of the shockwave isn't actually that large. Trying to disorientate multiple enemies with one shockwave is actually pretty difficult because of this, and so it's recommended that you fire multiple shockwaves if you're trying to hit a few people with it. Do be careful not to accidentally disorientate your teammates or yourself too, since the disorientating effect can last quite long and is more severe if you move a lot. Staying still makes it less severe though, so try to find a safe place and wait it out if you're hit by it. When you're on the drone, you cannot spot enemies like you would with an attacker drone or the CCTV camera. What's more, your allies cannot even connect to Yokai's camera feed, and so the intelligence from the Yokai drone can only come from Echo himself, thereby making voice communication among team members just a lot more important, especially if the drone is situated in a highly strategic spot. As with all electronic gadgets, Yokai can be detected by IQ, making IQ a counter to Echo. Twitch's drone can take it out too if it is low enough. Thatcher's EMP grenade will also temporarily disable it, making it drop from the ceiling, and it will lose its stealth. Unless they destroy it, you can wait a while and you will be given control of it again. And that's about it for Echo's drone. Now let's move on to talk about his weapons and gadget choices. Starting with his primary weapons, Echo can choose between a submachine gun and a shotgun. The submachine gun is a Heckler & Koch MP5 SD2, and in the game it is just called the MP5 SD. This is the gun that you can see me using in the background gameplay footage, and it is mostly similar in feel to the MP5 that Rogue and Dog has, except it has a silencer permanently attached to it. It shoots 800 rounds per minute and has a magazine capacity of 30, where each round does 23 damage. As with all other SMGs in this game, each bullet's damage isn't very high, which is expected, but the effectiveness of this gun comes mainly from its stability and ease of control. It is really easy to land those headshots with this gun, and so playing with this gun feels awesome, especially when getting those headshots with the first shot that you fire. I would say that this gun is one of Echo's strengths, just like how Rogue and Dog's MP5 is one of their strengths as well, all because of that laser beam-like accuracy of the MP5 for those sweet headshots. Echo's other weapon is the Manelli Supernova shotgun, just like Hibana's. His shotgun has a base damage of 32 and an ammo capacity of 7. Playing with it, as I mentioned in Hibana's guide video, feels really powerful and awesome, but when attacking with it, is of course subpar in terms of performance. Defending with it, however, could work, since enemies have to come to you and engage in close quarter combat instead of you having to go to them. So with Echo, you can just tuck yourself nicely in a corner and wait for your enemies to come, and so shotguns are more acceptable for defense in this game. Between the two weapons, I would say that it is up to your personal preference, and perhaps it also depends on the map that you're playing on as well. Personally, I like to use the SMG with an ACOG scope attached for those longer range headshots, and it just lets me feel more in control of situations since I am not limited by the shorter range of the shotgun. Moving on, Echo has access to 2 secondary weapons, and these are the same secondary weapons available to Hibana as well. The P229 pistol is mostly just a typical pistol in Rainbow Six. It deals 42 damage per round, and it has a mag cap of 12 rounds. Nothing really special here. The secondary weapon that you most likely use is the Munebia M9 submachine gun, or Bearing 9 as it is called in game. This gun plays mostly like the SMG-11 that is available to sledge and smoke only, making Echo and Hibana the two new operators that has access to SMGs as a secondary weapon. This gun has a mag cap of 25 and it fires rounds at 1100 rounds per minute, with each round dealing 32 damage. I only just realized during this video that Echo's Bearing 9 actually deals 5 damage more than Hibana's version of the Bearing 9 for each shot, which I believe is the case because of balancing. In any case, playing with this SMG feels really great, and this SMG is really quite powerful. So powerful that it can almost be a primary weapon on its own as well. The recoil on this gun is actually a lot more manageable than the SMG-11, even though they fire at the same speed. And so, sometimes it is quite good to use this gun over the MP5 SD in closer ranges, since this gun doesn't come with an ACOG scope, and it deals damage way faster if you're only hitting the body of your target. Sometimes you get lazy to aim for the head, you know. Anyway, on to Echo's secondary gadgets. He has access to barbed wire and the deployable shield. The choice of a secondary gadget usually comes down to personal preference as well, and I don't think it is any different here. If I were to use the barbed wire, I would make it almost impossible for someone to enter from a certain area. Putting barbed wire at a choke point and positioning yokai nearby can make it super difficult for enemies to pass by without being scared for their lives. Unless they have an ash to clear the wires efficiently, or someone to look for yokai and take it out, it will be quite tough to make it past that hallway or choke point. If instead I decide to use the deployable shield, I mainly use it at a nice little corner to feel more protected when I'm controlling my drone. Sometimes, if I have a corner where I feel sufficiently protected even without the shield, I use it to block off a window and prevent people from simply entering the objective room by placing it perpendicular to the window. Ash's grenade launcher or just a normal frag grenade can still take it out, but at least they have to waste some resources to get in if they want to. So that's about it on Echo's weapons and gadgets. Now let us move on to his playstyle and some of my gameplay tips with Echo. I've had the most success with Echo when I situated myself near the objective room. I would position myself just outside the objective room or between the bomb rooms in the bomb game mode, perhaps in a nicely covered corner so that I can safely control my drone sometimes. I find that this passive playstyle works best for Echo since he is rather slow moving anyways, making him a less than ideal roamer. 1 speed and 3 armor operators also make more noise when they run about, and so it is less effective to use Echo to sneak up behind enemies. What's more, if you are using the MP5 SD, that long range ACOG scope can help you to defend both objective rooms or objective room more effectively, especially if you can find a nice and safe place to shoot people from. A good tip when using yokai is to place Yokai further away from doors and windows that you want to watch over, if those are crucial doors and windows that you know enemies will most likely enter from. This is the best way to let you see and cover more ground with Yokai, since if you are too near, you only get a very narrow field of view outside of the window or door. Because the range of the shockwave is quite far, you do not need to worry that it cannot hit them from there. It is easy to forget, but the good thing about the drone is that it is mobile. People often forget to move the drone to somewhere else where it might be more useful after having placed it in a nice spot. So as long as Echo is alive, it can always be moved to another location to bolster the defenses in that area. Once an area is safe, moving the drone to another location is usually quite a good idea. Not only will it throw the opponent off guard since they may not expect it to be moved, but it will also give you all the good intel that you need to secure the win that round. If there are no narrow choke points or good spots for me to keep an eye on near the objective rooms, I find that it is quite nice to sometimes use Yokai as just another camera, and just leave it to watch over a nice open room that enemies are likely to walk through, or maybe even the objective room. Of course, allies won't be able to use it, but whenever you're free or after you're dead, you can always use the drone and keep watch with it, and provide intel to your teammates, so at least there's that. But don't forget you have to use the voice communications to communicate with your team. If you are worried that Echo might be less effective with his drone there, not to worry. Not having the drone there with him for fights doesn't really cripple Echo's effectiveness very much too, since his gun is still a very powerful gun when you're trying to get those headshots. And so yeah, that's about all I have to say about Echo, and I hope you found the video useful. If you haven't already watched, I have a Hibana guide as well that you can access by clicking on the I button at the top right now, or clicking on the annotation near the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like, leave a comment below, and share this video with your friends. Also, it would be greatly appreciated if you could subscribe to the channel, for I will be posting more Rainbow Six videos as well as other gaming videos in the future. Until next time guys, have a great day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.